Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he taught us that in our adhkar al-sabah wal-masa, we're supposed to say, La ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lah, lahul mulku wa lahul hamdu wa huwa ala kulli shay'in qadir. 100 times. 100 times. This 100 times could be divided during the day and the night. They don't have to be consecutive. You can say 50 in the day and 50 in the afternoon. But in one day you say it 100 times. And what's the result? Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he says, number one, it is equal in reward to as though you have freed 10 slaves from the children of Ismail. The slaves from the children of Ismail are the Arab slaves. And it was known that the Arab slave is much more expensive than any other slave. So what does it mean that you free 10 slaves? What does that mean? For me and you, what does that mean? In another hadith, the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he teaches us the reward of freeing a slave. He says that the reward of freeing a slave, for every limb of his you free, it is your freedom of Jahannam. Yani 10, you freed 10 slaves. This is your freedom from Jahannam 10 times. Did it cost you anything? La ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lah, lahul mulk wa lahul hamd wa huwa ala kulli shay'in qadir. Did you have to lift anything? Did you have to pay anything? Nothing. Cheap solution from Allah Azza wa Jal. And we still don't value it. Did you say it today 100 times? Did you plan to say it 100 times? Number two, Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says, it earns a person 100 hasanat. Number three, it wipes away 100 sayyat. See where the goodness is? Who commits 100 sins a day? Yeah, who among us commits 100 sins a day? Yani the idea is, even if you're committing 100 sins, there's your solution. Every morning, to say it 100 times. And it'll clean these 100 sins of yours. And then it raises a person 100 levels in the paradise. And then you are the best of mankind on the day of judgment, except someone who has said it more than you. If you read the book, Siyar A'lam al-Nubala, a huge book, it speaks about the biography of a Sahaba, of a Tabi'een. When you read in their biography, you find, وَكَانَ يَذْكُرُ اللَّهَ how many times? And this one 6,000 times, 5,000 times. Quran, reading, all of this dhikr. The biggest effect of it is that it doesn't only bring you closer to Allah, even though that's huge as a reward, but it cleans you from your sins. Which if you realized how big and how huge sins are, you would not waste a second in asking Allah for forgiveness.
Allah Azza wa Jal, He said, وَعْبُدْ رَبَّكَ حَتَّى يَأْتِيَكَ الْيَقِينَ. Worship your Lord, this is a command, worship your Lord until al-yaqeen reaches you. What is al-yaqeen? There is nothing more yaqeen and nothing more certain than death. Yani worship Allah until the day you die. This is وَعْبُدْ رَبَّكَ حَتَّى يَأْتِيَكَ الْيَقِينَ. Well, Imam al-Ghazali rahimahullah, he has something, he mentions that الشهادتين, which is لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله, is made up of 7 words. And these 7 words make 24 letters. لأنه لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله is a 24/7 word that you live by. Well, this is why Quraysh والمشركين والرسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم would often give them da'wah. They would say to him, what do you want from us? What do you want? What is it that you want? Tell us. He'd say to them nothing other than قولوا لا إله إلا الله تفلحوا. Just say La ilaha illallah, you'll succeed. طيب, and I ask you something. If it was just a word, why didn't they say it? لأنه even the most arrogant of kuffar Quraysh understood that it's not just a word. My entire life is going to change. If it was about a word, I'd say it. You'd say it 100 times, no problems. This is a word that's going to change your entire life, top to bottom.